Hi everyone, this is Mohammad Sami. I'm a recent RA graduate, and in today's video, I'll be sharing with you a lot of crucial tips and strategies to tackle the Duolingo English test. So you might be wondering, how can I trust this guy? So let me tell you, I myself have scored 140 overall score in the Duolingo English test, and I've watched almost 25 plus hours of YouTube videos from YouTube official, Duolingo official YouTube channel. Alongside, I've watched few videos from teacher Luke's YouTube channel and few from Arno's YouTube channel. And also, I have read the entire Duolingo official guide. It is a 70-page document that is provided to you once you have booked the test, so you can confirm the rules and regulations of taking the test since it's on a computer. So anyway, this video is going to be very special. Why? Because I'll also share with you the actual writing and speaking sample of that I have given in my official Duolingo test. So these are basically samples that are, provided to you with alongside your certificate. So these samples are shared with the, for some particular universities if they're requiring for you. For instance, if you're applying for some graduate position, the university might want your speaking or writing samples. So Duolingo will share those for you. Speaking is for basically for if you're applying for some TAship. So I'll share those things, and alongside, we will go through the entire Duolingo official pattern, like what are the questions that are being asked on the Duolingo official test, and we will go through the entire video, which is actually uploaded on the Duolingo official YouTube channel, and it is entitled as the walkthrough of Duolingo English Test 2024. So what we will do is we will go through one by one every question type, and I will pause the video and I will share with you some important tips and strategies to tackle that specific, that particular question type. So without any further delay, let's get straight into it. So this is my test score report. I have scored 140, which is the C1 level advanced, and my individual scores are like 145 in speaking, 135 in writing, 130 in reading, and 145 in listening. And my integrated sub scores are as follow: 140 in production. This is the actual score that most of the students struggle with, and it is a combination of the speaking and writing score. And alongside of score 135 in literacy, 140 in comprehension, and 145 in conversation. So let's go through the actual, video through which we will be, able to understand the entire pattern of the Duolingo English test. So let me share the video. So this is the video I've downloaded it from the YouTube, and we'll go through it, and I will share the, tips and strategies alongside. So this is the very first question type in which we are supposed to click yes or no if if is this a real English word, we're supposed to click yes or no. So for this, the simple trick is to whatever thought comes into your mind at the very first moment, trust that thought. Why? Because our mind, our brain is actually built in this kind of manner. Most probably, if we have read that word, most probably our mind will firstly give our thought that this is the word that you have gone through. So you have to click yes. And in case if you are not sure about some word, never click yes for it. You have to click no for this. So this is the simple strategy to tackle that specific pattern question type. Okay, the next one is complete a sentence with the correct word. For this one, the only strategy that I came to know about after watching a lot of videos is to just read it in a flow, in a speed, and your mind will automatically detect some that word. What will be the very next word that is suitable for that particular space, blanks. So read it in a flow, and you will automatically detect it. So the next question type is type the statement that you hear. For this one, uh, the crucial strategy is my actually typing speed is very slow. So for those who are slow at typing, it is always recommended to once you play your very first replay, you are supposed to start writing whatever you hear from the audio. No matter if it is misarranged, if you have skipped few words, if you have misunderstood few words, whatever word you are sure about, you are supposed to type in there. Why? Because later on when you play the second replay, you will be able to cover up those words that you have missed. So it will save time for for you for the typing. So you will not need to write the entire sentence from scratch. So this simple strategy is to just simply write whatever word you have heard in the very first try, and then you can replay it and you will cover the blanks, whatever word you have missed. And in the third one, you will be assured of whatever you have written. So another very important strategy for this question type is always make sure that you focus on the accent. You're focus on what is the actual flow of the speaking. Why? Because most of the times they will trick you. How? So the Duolingo test tricks you in many ways. One way, which is the most common, is that they will speak in a manner, for instance, you will not be able to detect the apostrophe. For instance, if there is a sentence, let's imagine they give you a sentence, I will go to university tomorrow. So in that case, since you heard I and will word separately, you are supposed to write I will go to university tomorrow. So this is what we're supposed to write. But it can trick you in many ways. But for instance, it might say in speed, I'll go to university tomorrow. In that case, you are supposed to write the apostrophe I apostrophe double L. Why? Because you have to focus on the accent, how it is, how the sentence is being spoken. I'll go to university tomorrow. In that case, you're supposed to write apostrophe. So you have to focus on this thing for that specific question type. Okay, so the next one is, so you might get two or three the same question type. Record yourself saying the statement below. For this question type, the most important strategy is to just read this sentence, quickly in the start. Don't click on the record now button. Just read it in your heart, like they help students and researchers understand the order of chronology of historical events for a subject. And then speak it in very slow speed. Why? Because the detector is actually your voice is being recorded, and we are supposed to, we want our every single word to be included in the script. So if I give you, a demo, you should speak in that speed. They help students and researchers understand the order or chronology of historical events for a subject. Make sure you pronounce every single word clearly and correctly, and try to copy accent. There is no marks for accent, but actually I've sort of experimented this thing on my own. Like I got few numbers for copying the accent. But accent is actually what accent is. It's actually a combination of correctly pronounced words. So once you pronounce every single word correctly, it will create a really good accent. So the scores are actually for pronunciation, not accent. Okay, so let's get to the next question type, which is type the missing letters to complete the text below. So the strategy for this question type is to firstly read the title of this entire paragraph. It is really really important. Why? Because it will give you idea of the context of the paragraph. So firstly read this entire paragraph title, and then read it in a flow, in a speed, as I previously told you for the written for reading type questions. So you're supposed to read in a flow, and most probably you will cover most of the words. In case you miss few words, which I did also for many, like I missed in my entire test almost 5 or 6 words. Not for one. This question that was repeating 3 times for me. So you're supposed to read in a flow, and if cover all the types that in once you're reading in very first try, keep writing whatever word comes to your mind. No matter if you're skipping, for instance, if you came to know about this word and you didn't understand that word, and you're unable to speculate any word for this filling the blanks. Never stop at this point. Once you are reading in a flow, if you're unable to catch any word, go to the next word. Never stop and keep reading, so that because in the very first try, you'll be able to answer most of the filling the blanks. So this is a simple strategy for this one. And once you're done with the entire reading and still you have few filling the blanks left, the strategy is to read this entire thing and focus on the words. Why? Because most of the time the same words are being repeated. For instance, in this first line, you can see the word star. And here the word would be new stars. So this way you will be able to tackle those filling the blanks. Okay. So this is the next question type, and for this one, you have to focus on the time, which is very important. Why? This is actually the time for this question time is a lot. You will easily tackle these questions, those questions in that much time because you will be provided with, I think, 6 minutes or 45 seconds or maybe 70 minutes for the next six questions. This time is not for just this question type. So this is a simple thing. You have to just select the most suitable word, and it is this question type is not that much difficult. The simple thing is to just focus on the context and select the most suitable word. And once you're done with this very first question type of this part, you are supposed to read it again. Why? Because there's a lot of time, and this paragraph will be included in the next next part of this question type. Here you can see like this is the first paragraph that we have completed in the very first type. And after this, you're supposed to, for this question type, select the best sentence to fill in the blank in the passage. So most probably, once you read this entire paragraph, you'll be able to choose any of the correct options, and your option will most probably be authentic. Why? Most of the time the rest of the three options are completely irrelevant. You can easily judge this, so this is not a difficult question of Duolingo. So let's get to the next. This is a very important question type. Click and drag text to highlight the answer to the question below. So why is this important? Because I have researched a lot. I have confirmed it. I have actually organized the, webinars with the co-founder of Arno, Mr. Otto Nagengast. He's the actually co-founder of Arno's, and he's the guy who actually uploads the videos on the official Arno's channel. I have confirmed these things from himself. I've watched all very videos from videos from official Duolingo official channel, and I have confirmed this from teacher Luke's video. And what is this? Like for this question type, you are supposed to highlight the only sentence or only word which directly answers that question. You're not supposed to cover the entire, highlight the entire sentence to get the answer. The actual answer is the direct, actual, immediate answer to that specific question. It can also be a one word. If one word is simply answering the entire question, you're supposed to highlight only that word. So, for instance, you can see for this question type, why would a business need a human resources consultant? So you can see some businesses don't have the money for elaborate human resources training, and then there is a comma, and then there is the rest of the sentence. So this first part of sentence is completely answering this entire statement, entire question. So they will only highlight this bar. They will not highlight the entire sentence which is ending at this point, consultant. As I told you before, sorry, you can highlight even one word if it is the direct and immediate answer. You're not supposed to highlight the entire, sentence. Okay, let's move towards the next question type, which is select the idea that is expressed in the passage. So this is actually the passage that we have completed in the previous question type. So you're supposed to click, choose the most suitable idea, like what is the idea that is being expressed. And this is a really easy, question type. Why? Because you will easily get the context after reading this, entire paragraph. So you are supposed to, choose a very suitable one. And the strategy for this one is that after selecting the most suitable one, you're supposed to read the next ones as well. Read it twice or thrice. This will actually give you a sort of authentic answer. Focus on the rest of the options as well. Okay, the next one is select the best title for the passage. So for this one, the strategy is to select sort of more general title. Why? Because some titles might be very specific. For instance, you can see human resources directors agree, human resources development. The most generic one you can see is creating high performing employees. So this is the correct answer. And you can easily, select the most suitable title once you read the entire paragraph. Okay, now let's move towards the next question type, which is you will participate in a conversation about the scenario below. So for this question type, the most recommended strategy was always is to read the entire sentence twice or thrice. Keep reading you will, keep reading it and until and unless you get the idea of what kind of dialogue is that and who is going to participate in that dialogue. For instance, you can see you and your friend have recently gotten part-time jobs as lab assistants for a professor. You were discussing how the job is going. So it is very important to read this clearly and get to know about whom you are going to talk to in this dialogue. Why? Because, for instance, if I were to talk with my teacher, if there was rating, you're supposed to, talk to your teacher. In that case, you will have to start with some formal sentences. So you have to choose some formal sentences. In case of friend, you can use casual and informal sentences. For instance, you can say, pick the best option to start the conversation. Hey, how's the job going? So this is the very suitable option for this. Why? Because you're talking to your friend. You're not supposed to be that much formal. And the very first one, most suitable sentence is this. For instance, you can read, that's a lot of work. This is not a good starter. Hey, come in. How can I help you? You're not actually supposed to help him. You're actually seeking help. So this is why it's very important to read the context that is provided to you. So next one is, hey, how's your thesis going? This is not a direct way of starting the conversation. So your classes aren't going well. No, the most suitable one is, hey, how's your job going? So this is a very simple one. So for this question type, the next part is you will participate in a conversation about the scenario below. The entire, scenarios are provided to you again. And since you have selected the very first one, now the dialogue begins. For this one, you have to take care of one thing. The audio will be only played one time. So focus on it and then select the most suitable next dialogue because you will not get the option to replay the audio. Okay. So then the simple strategy is to just select the most suitable answer for that specific question. For instance, in the audio thread, it's going good. I'm really enjoying. So they will actually showcase the text once you have selected the option, the previous text. So the strategy is to once you're done with this question type, read the entire dialogue. Never click on next. Always consume your entire time because you're not gonna get a few points for quickly completing few question type. There's not points for completing the questions quickly. So always use the entire time, the entire duration provided for each question type. So this is the part of the previous question type that was the dialogue. And the next part is summarize the conversation you just had in 75 seconds. And the trick for this one is once you complete the previous entire dialogue, read that dialogue many times. And most of the text you can write here is from the title of that topic. For instance, you're provided with the title on the top. So I would say I actually wrote almost uh, one and a half sentence in the 75 seconds because my typing speed was about 35 to 40 words per minute, which was very slow. So for this, you're supposed to summarize the conversation. My length was, sort of one and a half sentence. Okay, now comes to the next question type, which is write a description of the image below for 1 minute. This is a very important question type. It contributes to the writing score. And for this question type, the strategy is to just answer not answer, actually, the strategy is to cover the entire context of the picture in your very first sentence. Okay. So, for instance, you can imagine like someone is sitting in front of you and he's not able to see that picture. You're supposed to, uh, you know, um, summarize the entire context of the picture what you're saying in the very first sentence. So in the very first sentence you're supposed to cover the entire context. So this is a very important thing. For instance, you can see in the sentence create in this photo, I'm seeing an instructor or potential teaching assistant talking to two women who are working on something on their laptops. So if I were you, I would, write simple sentence because I'm not that good in writing. So I would simply write like, in this picture, I can see a bunch of professionals sitting on their desktops and they're using laptop, and there is an instructor in the on the backside. He's might be instructing about or telling about something to those candidate or something. So in the very first sentence you are supposed to cover the entire context, and then if time allows you can speculate about things. For instance, you can say like, it seems like there it is some art class. It seems like it is some sort of lab, and it appears to me, and I assume this. So you can speculate like, what are the things that appears to you. So in the very first sentence, cover the entire context, and then you can just make guesses. This appears to me like this is okay. So now we are moving towards the next question type, which is write about the topic below for 5 minutes. And this is a very important topic of question type because it contributes to your writing, and it is a 5 minute task, and it is very important. Write about a time when you achieved a personal goal that you set for yourself. Describe the steps you took to reach this goal and emotions you experienced upon achieving it. So for this question type, I will suggest you to create a story. If you already have an answer, you have already experienced that thing that is being asked in the question, this is good. But in case you haven't had that sort of experience that has been asked to you, you have to just speculate, imagine a story, and then you have to write. And the most important strategy is to write in a properly organized manner. But what is organized manner? What do I mean by organized manner? By this, I mean start your sentence with the directly answering the first part of the question. But before starting the sentence, you have to use the connecting words. For instance, you can start with first of all, and then you can move towards other words like connecting words like besides, furthermore. So these are the words that are actually really highly recommended to use in your writing because it actually, creates your writing in a very good manners, a bit organized manner, and you will get really high score for this. So use the connecting words like besides, furthermore, for instance, and then after answering this question type, the AI will automatically generate the next question type, next question, which will actually be the follow-up from the answer of your previous question. So make sure whatever story, if you're imagining a story you haven't been to that experience, make sure that you have imagined the entire story so that you can answer the first part in the first question type, and then you will already have an idea what kind of follow-up question that they might ask, and you will automatically get that idea, and then you can answer the rest of the story in that part. And use the same strategy. Use connecting words like although, besides, furthermore. These are the words that actually increase your writing score. Okay, now let's get to the next question type. That is, prepare to speak about the topic below. This here comes the speaking question type, which is in this question type, you're supposed to prepare to speak about that topic for 90 seconds, and it is very important question type. And the crucial strategies for this one is read, complete your entire replays, listen to all three replays, and create a story in case you haven't had that sort of experience, whatever is being asked in that, audio. And the most important strategy for this question type is to cover the entire duration. This is really important. I have experimented myself that duration is very important. It contributes significantly to your speaking score. And one of the misconceptions that I had before, taking that test was, what if my sentence is incomplete and I keep on speaking and the times end, my few sentence will come, leave out incomplete. So this will not deduct your score at all if you're unable to, if you, leave some incomplete sentences in the end and the times ends. This is my own experimented type. I have scored 145 in speaking, 140 in production, and have, and for all of my speaking, question type, I was still speaking and the time was completed. So this is my own experimented type and I've confirmed it from various sources. There is no deduction of marks on the basis of if you leave something incomplete for both speaking and also writing. For all of my writing question type, I was typing and the time was completed. So most of my sentences was incomplete. So I have confirmed this. There is no deduction for that case. Okay, so now let's move on. So you are supposed to cover the entire, duration as much time as you can until and unless you're not making a lot of grammatical mistakes. So here comes the next one, which is to prepare to speak about the image below. For this question type, you have to use the same strategies that I've shared for the writing one, which is to in the very first sentence you have to cover the entire context. For instance, I can say like and this image or this image depicts or this image delineates. So you have to memorize few sentence starters for few smart sentence starters, including sort of advanced vocabulary words, because this is obvious you will get the picture task for in the writing two or three time in the speaking. So why not already memorize few sort of sentence starters to start the image. For instance, I memorized few of the sentence starters like in this image depicts, this image delineates, in this image or in this picture I can make out. So these are the sentence starters. I've created a very important document for this. I will share this as well. So for this question type, you have to cover the context in the very first image. Like you can say, in this image, I can see a bunch of people traveling on some public train. In and then once this is actually context I have provided in the first. I will provide in the first sentence, and then you can speculate. First, you can see in this image I can see a sunlight coming through the window. So this appears to me like this is the daytime or maybe the evening, this sort of thing. In the foreground, I can see um, a man here wearing a cap standing and he's staring at something. In the background I can see old people sitting on the chairs. So you can keep on speaking, try to cover as much duration as you can, because the length actually contributes significantly to your speaking and writing score. Okay, now let's move on to the next question type, which is prepare to speak about the topic below. Describe innovation in one of your fields of interest. Okay, so for this question type, the most important strategy is to answer the all the aspects of the question in sequence. For instance, the good part is that you will have access to that question. So to cover the most duration is to firstly read this entire discover innovation in one of your field, read that entire topic, and then keep on answering the questions step by step. Answer all the aspects, all the subfields. For instance, describe innovation in one of your fields. For instance, this sort of question also asked in my Duolingo English test. It was about some technology, so I talked about AI, I think. So for this one, you're supposed to answer the first, then shift to the next question type and answer it, and then keep looking at the questions and then move toward the third one, and then you can summarize the information in to conclude or in conclusion. So use those connecting words as well, first of all. Secondly, moving on to the second question type, second sub question. So use those sort of connecting words to increase your score. Speak about the topic below for the 90 seconds. Okay, so now comes a very important, writing sample. Prepare to write about the topic below. So this is actually a 5-minute writing sample, which is actually provided to you after completion of your, Duolingo English test. Once your score is, announced, you will also get, those samples, those writing and the speaking, and these are very important. Why? Because most probably aspirants who are taking Duolingo English test will be applying for some graduate positions or for some admission into, international universities. So these are the samples that are actually shared with your, particular universities if they require one alongside your score sheet. So this is very important because they might judge you. For instance, if you're applying for some TAship, the speaking sample is very important because the, university administration will be judging you on basis of those sample. So for these are very important one, write about the topic below for 5 minutes. And the strategy to tackle this question type is to write up till end, cover the entire duration, and alongside try to cover all the aspects and use the connecting word the same. First of all, moving on to the next aspect, use the connecting word like besides, furthermore, numerous, and use synonyms different to, showcase as much diverse vocabulary as you can in your both reading and speaking some question types. Okay. So now comes the speaking one, which is the actual sample. That is also, yeah, I have told you before that will also contribute to your, score, and alongside it will be shared with you, particular university, whatever institute you're applying for. So let's move on since we're done with the entire pattern. Now let's move on to those, you know, my answers to those writing and speaking and samples. So here you can see like this is my score and this is the answers to my so this is the video speaking question that I was asked. Some people believe that families are spending too much time on their devices such as smartphones and tablets instead of spending time talking to each other, and this can affect their relationships. Do you agree or disagree? Provide support for from your personal experience and or observation to support your opinion. So what I did was I read the entire topic, and in very first question or very first strategy is to directly answer the question. So far from here up till to there to that point, they haven't asked any question. Some people believe they're just giving you the concept. The first question is, do you agree or disagree? So very first thing what I did was I directly answered that question. Do you agree or disagree? I said I strongly agree or maybe disagree. Let me hear this.
I strongly agree with the perspective that families are spending too
You can see like I'm staring at the topic on the screen, and the good part is like since my typing speed wasn't that good, what I did was I used a really good strategy that I was able to get to know about through the by reading the comment on the official Duolingo English test. So some guy shared that my typing speed was slow. What I did was because I cannot type while looking at my screen. I have to stare at my keyboard most of the times. So what I did was I placed a mirror at my back and I've sat in front of you, and in front of it, like you can see if I zoom in from the right side and also from the left side, you can see that you can clearly see like there is no one helping me. So this will actually help out the administration of Duolingo to understand that this guy is not cheating. uh, so I use this strategy because I look at the keyboard most of the time. I was looking at the keyboard most of the time for the writing questions, and the strategy for this one is simply just place a mirror at your backside and type the question, and try to look back at the camera at least once in a 4 seconds. Okay, so this is crucial because your test may get invalidated for this reason. Okay, now let's move on to the question.
much time on their devices such as smartphone, tablets,
Look, I clearly answered
and
that.
laptops instead of spending
And
time
I'm continuously staring at this question. Okay, so this is very important. Keep staring at it,
talking
keep
to each
reading it,
other.
and answer
And
it one by one. Okay,
I firmly believe that this can affect their relationship in enormous ways. For instance, if we look at the today's generation, the youth, they are spending most of their time on the smartphones and the laptops, like scrolling the social media applications and going through different news that maybe are the rumors. So they can have a negative impact on the youth, especially the ones who are younger, under the age 18. For instance, they may get to have exposure to different illegal or different inauthentic information that may leads them to some wrong path. Besides, I believe that spending
So this was a really good thing. What I did was, first of all, I directly answered the very first question. Then I provided the consent, like I strongly disagree with this context that family. I strongly agree with this statement that families are spending too much time on their devices, for instance, smartphones. So I covered almost 15 seconds in just answering this simple question, do you agree or disagree? And then I read that statement by, simply changing few words, using the synonyms, and then using few different examples like smartphone, tablets, laptops, and this sort of thing. And you can see, like, observe that I'm constantly using the connecting word besides, furthermore. So these are the words that actually increase your writing and speaking, score.
Spending too much time on these smartphones will destroy the actual in-person communication skills of us of a professional. As we all, as a student, we will enter the job market, and the communication skills are vital to tackle any
So this is a really good word. The communication skills are vital. So this is a good word. Instead of using the same word again and again, I'm using the synonyms, and I have created a really, sort of informative document for this. Like it contains the synonyms, the sentence starters, and a lot of crucial tips and strategies. So I will share this as well.
interview or to excel in the career. And also, if I share one of my personal experience, I used to be an introvert person, spending a lot of time on the mobile phones and laptops.
Okay, so now I have covered that much part. What I did was I started answering the next aspect. Do you provide support from your personal experience and observation to support your opinion? So this is a really important thing, because 3 minutes a lot of time for someone, for students like me or some other students who are like sort of mediocre students from who have studied in from mediocre universities. So I myself am from Multan. I did my bachelor's in information technology from Mohammad Nawaz University of Agriculture, Multan. So it is not a top school, top university of Pakistan. So you can see like what strategies I used was just to use the synonyms and to speak really slow. This is the most important thing for all speaking sample. And this video is the evidence like how slow you can speak, because I have scored 145 in the speaking, and I was using that speed in each and every speaking question type.
So once I had a chance to participate in a
Reading
competition, even though I was
and
very well
answering it.
prepared for the competition. It was about the programming competition where we were supposed to present our project. Even after a lot of preparation, I was unable to even present myself because I didn't have that kind of communication skills or public speaking skills to convey my ideas and message effectively. So I ended up scoring a very low mark because even though prepared a lot, but I didn't presented it well. So based on these personal experience, I believe that the in-person, the face-to-face interaction and communication
And this is very also an important thing. I'm currently using the gestures in my video interview, because this appears to be more natural, and I'm taking the natural pauses, so it will help the Duolingo administration to detect that I'm not cheating. I'm not sort of taking help from some other sources. So this just sound natural, the way you actually
is
speak your native language.
essential to become a professional or to enhance your career as a professional. Ultimately, I would say
Now I've used a really good thing, which is I'm summarizing the entire conversation, which is I've used a connecting word ultimately. So this is really important in conclusion, to conclude, ultimately. So this sums up. So these are the words that actually include your speaking and writing skill and make it more organized.
that one must have a balanced way of spending a bunch of time on social media. Also,
So you can see my speaking sample was incomplete. So this video was actually an evidence that you can leave your stuff, you can leave your speaking and writing samples incomplete for all writing and speaking, and this will not deduct your score, because obviously the Duolingo test want to just judge your English language. They don't want to judge your memory. They don't want to judge your sort of how smart you are. So the only thing is to just they want to judge your English, and they can do this by the previously stated the statements, the you know the entire content that you have written in the writings questions. So you need not to worry about any incomplete stuff, and I will provide the evidence again in my writing sample. So this is the question that was asked in my writing sample, and the last question type of our Duolingo test. Describe one thing related to school that you would like to improve. How could you improve this, and how would this change affect you and other people? So here is my response. The first thing was that I directly answered the first question. Describe one thing related to school that would like to improve. One thing I would love to improve related to the school is to organize different seminars in the institute and invite the guest speakers who are top professionals from the multiple domains instead of just delivering the traditional lectures every day. So another very important thing for writing question type is to write, use connecting words and write a bit of long, lengthy sentence. It will actually, make a sort of complex sentence. So this will contribute significantly to your writing score. For instance, my first sentence is ending at that point. What I did, I can directly end my sentence. I could have directly ended my sentence at that point. One thing I would love to improve related to school is to organize different seminar. I can end this. But what I did was I used different connecting words to, make the sentence as lengthier as I can because it contributes significantly. It will, make it the complex sentence. One thing I would love to improve related to the school is to organize different seminars in the institute and invite the guest speakers who are top professionals from multiple domains. Instead, then I use another word instead just delivering the traditional lectures every day. So this is a really good thing. I have combined different sentences and make a very long, complex sentence. Next thing, it will improve the overall performance of the students in numerous ways. So this is a really good word. Instead of using the usually used many word, the word many, I use numerous. First and foremost, very good thing because it will showcase you know more organized way of writing. First and foremost, firstly, I give my context, what I would love to improve. Then I will give the reason. Then I give the reason that it will improve the overall performance of the student in numerous ways. And what are those numerous ways? The first one is first and foremost, it will motivate and inspire students to work even harder to become a successful person. I think I made a spelling mistake. I was writing like a speaker. Additionally, which is a very good word, another connecting word, I'm providing the evidences numerous ways. First and foremost, additionally, it's crucial for students, very good word instead of using the important, crucial for students to take a moment out of those daily classes routine and switch the gears towards something more intriguing. So this is a really good word, switch the gears towards. So you are supposed to, use those sort of sentences, the sort of words and idioms also contribute significantly to your speaking and writing scores. And those speaking and writing scores are actually, contributes to your production score. Then I use another connecting verb. Furthermore, it will enhance the reputation of the school as the exposure to top class working professionals. Very good thing. I've used apostrophe in a smart way. Most of the students are aware of this. Like I'm using the, plural here, and you're supposed to add the apostrophe after the verb as. Working professionals experience will assist both the students and teachers to think. Yeah, I made a mistake. Instead of writing think, I wrote think out of the box. Anyway, and my writing ends at ultimately it, which is a very good thing I was about to write. So this, type of conveys the idea to administration that I'm good at writing, and I still had a lot of thing to write, but I ran out of time because my typing speed was slow and I still have content to write about. So the very important strategies were to just directly answer the question in the first sentence, use connecting word to make it more lengthier, more complex sentence, use the different connecting words to make it more organized. Furthermore, additionally, besides, so these are really good words, and then conclude this in using sort of word like ultimately to conclude as a result. And I have also the another important thing is to uh, answer your questions in paragraphs. For instance, you can see I've answered this one, and then I use the line break after my first contest. After completing my first context, additionally, then I use the line break, and then furthermore it will enhance the reputation. And after completing this, I'll again use the line break and then wrote ultimately eight, and the time was ended. So this is evidence that the incomplete sentences in both speaking and writing uh, will not deduct your marks. Okay, so this is the honors website, and you can, use the 10% discount code you if you book your Duolingo test through Arnos. I also booked my one from Arnos, and I will also try to, add the link of these those webinars that I organized with the Arnos co-founder Otto Nagengast. I'll try to, add those links in the description of this video, and here you go. Your brother is featured on Arno's. This is my, testimonial for the Arno's official website. Before using Arno, I was stuck at 120, 130 in my DET practice, struggling with writing. Arno's air feedback was game changer, helping me refine my skills. Thanks to Arno's, and I achieved 140 on my actual DET. Highly recommend. So Arno's, and most important thing is always practice your, mock test on Duolingo official test. Never use Arno's for your overall practice. Only use Arno to, get to know about the feedback of your writing. Arno's provide you with the, one-time free access to give the entire mock test. So give the entire mock test on Arno one time, and it will give you the answers to every single question. The Duolingo official website doesn't do that anyway. So once you give the very first free attempt on your Arnos, it will give you answer to every single question, and provide you with the with the result sheet, like where what answer you gave the wrong, what was your correct answer. And through this you can deduct what are your detect what are your weak points, and using those weak points you are supposed to just focus on, after detecting those ones, you are supposed to just focus on those weak points, and then you will be able to, increase your overall score. So this was all about my sort of guidance what I have got from different sources. And okay, so now I'll share with you a very important thing, which is, let me share with you. This is the document that I have prepared after, watching a lot of videos, and I really worked hard to prepare a very good stuff. So these are free vocabulary words that you can use. For instance, you can use incorporate word instead of include. This big incorporates a bunch of students studying in the class. So these are very good, smart words, very good thing. You have to, showcase as much diverse vocabulary as you can. Once you diversify your vocabulary in your both your writing and speaking, it will increase your score. Okay, so these are for idioms you can use in the speaking. So these are actually the words that I have included in this document after doing a lot of research. So these are sort of words that can be used in, mostly in most of the situation. These words can be used in most of the situations. Though these are like sort of most commonly used words. So instead of using the understand, you can use comprehend. So I will attach a link to a LinkedIn article, and this LinkedIn article will be very important for all of their aspirants, because I will summarize the entire strategies and each and every important thing that I haven't covered in this video. And alongside in that article, I will upload the link to that document. I will attach, you can say like I will attach this document in that LinkedIn article. So read it and go through this entire document. And it is really important. These are I have enlisted all the DT question type. There are 20 question types, and the tips and strategies for a few specific question types. And you can use some crucial information, like about the, rules and regulations, so that your test may not get invalidated. So these are some sentence starters and each and everything I've included, and it is a really, really helpful document I've shared with a lot of students so far. I'll attach so in this video I will attach the in the description. I will attach a link to that our LinkedIn article, and alongside I will also, try to add those videos. I will see if those are recorded on my computer. I will attach the link to those webinars that I organized with the co-founder of Arno, Mr. Otto and Nagengast. So keep practicing, and I would say, like, on average, if you are sort of average student from a mediocre university of Pakistan or India or any other Asian country, you can prepare for a Duolingo test in no more than 2 or 3 weeks, which is more than enough. And anyway, so I hope my video was helpful for all of you, and I wish you all a very good luck for your test. And see you in the next video. Goodbye.